Here's my Money, Money, Money series in 2025. Folks, if you want value, speak value, not just price. There are 4 types of value that can and should be quantified by both the buying organization and the selling organization. 1, decreased costs. We all understand decreased costs, but the value is created when one company decreases costs for another company, because costs are constraints that could prevent an organization from achieving its goals. Now, suppliers are always asked to decrease costs for buying organizations, but buying organizations, do you actually increase the cost to the supply organization and still expect cost decreases year over year? That's not going to pencil out in today's economy. So be careful. Be careful, customers, that you're not inadvertently increasing costs to the supplier. For this to work, for it to be a value exchange, both the buying organization and the selling organization need to decrease costs for the other. And be careful about assumptions. For instance, reducing the need for facilities space due to outsourcing will only decrease the costs if the building can be sold or subleased. Otherwise, the use and occupancy costs will continue as a partially filled building or filled by another team, and that still needs facilities management, heating, cooling, security, janitorial, etc. So there can be some misguided assumptions on the buying organization side about what they anticipate the decreased costs will be. This is actually, for it to be a value conversation, a little bit more comprehensive than a traditional price conversation. 2, decrease risks. Value is created when an organization decreases risks for another organization. Again, buying companies, are you actually increasing the risk profile of the supplier? A risk is a possibility that something negative will happen, and the value of the risk depends on the degree of the negative impact if that risk event materializes, plus the likelihood of that risk materializing. It's a formula, an algebraic formula. Now, some risks are out of a company's control and some are within a company's control. Typical examples of risks that are out of a company's control include increased prices for raw materials, although buyers can hedge that to some extent, and damage claims for injuries or decreased demand for that product or service. Now, risks that are within a company's control include predictable delays from organizational misalignment, inaccuracies in reporting, and poor talent management. And I've seen all of these as risk events. Now, extended supply chains, especially with multiple levels of subcontracting, bring risk to the organizations, and contract professionals should seek to identify, manage, or eliminate as many known risks as possible. Potential known risks to try to mitigate, manage would be delayed deliveries, known to shipping delays, poor forecasting leading to a supplier to under or overproduce, lack of a well-written statement of work, unfavorable terms and conditions, unspecified service level agreement, flow down provisions, improper international documentation leading to delays through customs, etc. 3, increased benefits. Businesses can create value when they create benefits for one another. There are numerous ways to create benefits. For example, a supplier can create benefits to a customer by improving the customer's brand, its speed to market, product innovation, or increasing the customer's inventory turnover rate. Now, these benefits often have a tangible impact to the buyer's organization. But again, this is a two-way street. How can customers increase or improve the supplier's brand? How can it improve the supplier's ability to innovate or at a minimum continuously improve? These are often two sides of the same coin. The fourth kind of value is increased opportunities. Now, value can be created if a company generates increased opportunities for another company. Now, a lot of buyers are like, oh, well, maybe potentially, possibly next year you can be eligible to bid on this other piece of work. That's not an opportunity. That's a promise of an opportunity. I'm talking about cash. Where is there something that's tangible today, not the promise of something that's intangible tomorrow? Now, an opportunity is the possibility that something positive will happen, but it has a tangible connection. And the value of that opportunity depends on the degree of the positive impact that benefit will have, plus the likelihood of realization of that opportunity. So, by way of an example, a supplier can increase their customers' opportunities with their customers by increasing the return on investment for a customer's marketing campaign, which is directly tied to increased sales for the customer. Customers can do this for suppliers by making a direct correlation that improved performance means increased work. And I do this in my alliances. When we establish a metric scorecard, then there's a greater opportunity for a direct award when the corporate policies and procedures allow it. So this doesn't typically happen in governments, it happens in the commercial sphere. Those are ways that we have the fourth kind of value, which is increased opportunities. All right, well, if you're still watching, then you might be interested in my book, Getting to We, for an in-depth look at driving supplier value, applicable for both customers and suppliers. And just, we're not supposed to have favorite children or favorite books, but Getting to We is by far my favorite book. And you can get your copy here.